Hello everyone. So today, as a group, we interviewed a high school athletic director and a high school coach. We summarized both interviews and came up with these here 8 key points. We summarized the points of what they thought were affecting youth sports the most. We told the second interviewer to not repeat some of the answers as the first one so we get more answers. The first person we interviewed was Chris Fulton. He's the athletic director at Capital Prep in Hartford, Connecticut. The second person we interviewed was Levi Gillespie, who's the boys basketball coach at Capital Prep High School. So here our first key point were parents. Parents are a huge issue in youth sports and high school sports as well. Both of our interviewers had told us numerous stories about how parents try to talk to the coach or the AD after games. Chris Fulton had implemented that if there was a problem with their child's playing time, that they should set a meeting with the AD or head coach after the game or maybe before a game or whether after a practice so they could not interrupt with their child's playing on the court. And also Levi Gillespie has stated that he sets a meeting in the beginning of the season with all parents on the team to discuss all guidelines and rules for the upcoming season. The second issue that we came up with was poor coaching. There's many people nowadays trying to help kids and they don't know what they're doing. Both of our interviewers said in order to coach, they should be educated in the sport and not try to coach from the sideline. Also, Coach Gillespie stated that they should teach kids the fundamentals of the game. If the coach doesn't know what he's doing, more importantly, the kids are going to suffer.
The next point is physical damage. A lot of parents keep their kids out of sports because they don't want their kids to get hurt or get injured. A lot of them keep their kids out of football, for example, because they don't want them to tear an ACL or get hurt, when in the same sense they can get hurt playing soccer. There's more injuries in soccer in the knees and legs than in football. The next point is there's always trainers readily available, so athletes are always going to be safe and someone's looking after them. Last point goes back to poor coaching. If you have a good coach who's teaching proper technique, injuries won't happen and the game will be safe for everyone.
The next topic is mercy rule. Mercy rule is basically pretty much when you can't beat a team by a certain amount of points. And both people that we interviewed said that mercy rule is a big problem in youth sports and in high school sports. Basically, it's like in a basketball game, if a team's winning by so much, they're just holding the ball out or sitting back in the zone. Or like in a football game, they're just running the ball or have the backup players in. And to them, they felt like that was more embarrassing than running up the score. That just makes kids feel more bad when you see the other team just holding the ball out and they're sitting on defense and not getting a chance to score.
The next point is prep school versus public school. Prep schools have the advantage when it comes to better athletes and better talent because they have scholarship money they can give people and they can actively recruit. They say they don't, but every prep school pretty much does it. Versus public schools who they can't recruit, they take whoever's in the town or nearby and they just play with what they can get. There's different type of prep schools. Some prep schools are attached to the high school and they have a post-grad year and they play on the varsity team, so it's be a 19 or 20-year-old playing with varsity level kids, and a lot of people don't think that's fair. That's why they don't compete against public schools, because the public schools don't have that advantage. Other type of prep schools are straight kids out of high school, so they're all the same age playing other prep schools who would be the same age, and it's a pretty competitive league. A lot of the times kids go to prep school so they get recruited to a better college, or in some cases they go to prep school for better grades. Another point is selfishness. Selfishness is a player being about themselves, trying to be individualized and make plays for themselves so they can get better stats and they get better recruiting looks and go to a better college eventually. Sometimes selfishness can ruin a team and their mojo. So if a point guard on a basketball team is trying to score every single time and not passing the ball to anybody else and trying to get his points up, it can affect the team's play, and the coach eventually have to sit him, which overall will affect him.
Hi, my name is Mark Clements, and our next key point is overcompetitiveness. Kids are too focused on sports and not their education. Kids nowadays have misplaced priorities. Books always come first, then you take care of sports. After Coach Gillespie stated that if a coach fails by not winning enough, he can then be terminated, which isn't fair but is the way of business in reconducting in the coaching field. The main impact of participating is to gain the experience of the sport.
In some cases, coaches will do whatever it takes to win. You see examples at UNC, the basketball team had their players taking fake classes just so their players can be eligible and win games, and you see them graduate and they have no education, then half of them are coming back trying to sue the school because they can't get jobs now. Another way coaches try to win at all costs is they put players in when they should be playing. So for an example, when players are injured with a concussion, they can't go back in the game. Coaches put them in the game just so they can win the game. The last point is fear of failure. A lot of kids feel like they're going to fail and let their family down, friends down, or even sometimes coaches. Athletes shouldn't feel like they're going to fail and should participate in every sport. You see some cases kids won't play in sports and will sit out because they feel like they won't make the team or they're not good enough or even they're made fun of. So coaches have to reinforce the fact that they won't fail. In other cases, coaches have to reinforce their team that even if they do lose a game, they're not failures and they have to keep working hard to win each and every game.